The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Heffner.
and of course, the demented and fermented
Wayne Baker.
We made it out of Pennsylvania again, and they need to let us stop going across state lines, because now we're talking about like multiple jurisdictions, and that can become a problem.
Wait, is there something you need to tell us, Dan?
Are there any schools around here that I need to know
God.
about?
Oh, Jesus. So we're back in the land of jug handles and the birthplace of Wawa.
And no left turns. God damn it!
Although I made a left turn to get here.
And
Yeah.
apparently, the last state where you can't pump your own gas.
Yes,
it is-
Oregon made it to the 21st
Yeah.
century, and nobody in Oregon knows how to pump their own gas.
Yeah. How many people died from their gas overflowing in their cars?
This is Travel Busters.
Travel Busters brought to you. No, but we are in New Jersey. And New Jersey was the first state that we made it out of from Pennsylvania. So, of course,
That is true.
I used to work in New Jersey, and I don't think I've mentioned that in a very long time because I'd like to forget that. I kid. I love this state.
That's
so
a lot of tolls.
It is. That's why I don't work in New Jersey anymore.
So we're going to try and shit on the state as much as we can at the top of the show.
No, as I was about to say something
As
positive.
our guest has already gotten
To
up
see if
and
we
left
get our
the
guests to
table.
just leave before
Well, we
even
did that when we
introduce
were at Spellbound. It was just shitting on Jersey the entire time. No,
Mark was on that episode.
He was. I was going to say something nice about New Jersey because some of the best wings I've ever had were in New Jersey.
There you go.
The Jug Handle Inn. I love that place so much. I haven't been in a very long time. Maybe we'll go after here.
Sure.
And 15 minutes into the episode,
15
we're
minutes
still
into the
not going to
episode.
tell you where we are.
We are at Tonewood. Tonewood Brewing in Oakland, New Jersey, which is not Oakland, but Oakland. But I'm very happy to be here. I was not part of the New Jersey Brew Day that Steph and Wayne had done before, and this is my first time here. But we have two guys with us at the table currently. We have the man himself behind Tonewood, one of the partners here we have with us.
Eli Fashini.
Eli, thank you for having us out here, man. And, of course, joining us at the table, courtesy of Slimy Sauce, the aforementioned, we have with us
Kyle McCarran.
Kyle. Thank you for stepping up to the table, man.
And Steph and I met Kyle the day of the aforementioned Jersey Brewery Day.
Yes.
We stopped to see Slimy
Slimy
Gravy
Sauce.
Rockin' Sauce at Village Idiot. And Kyle was there slinging beers as well.
You're going to learn all of Mark's nicknames by the end of this episode.
He's got a lot of them.
I already know too many.
He's also,
I forget why, but he's in my phone as Sweetums.
also known as Pickles.
Yeah, Pickles, that's right. I forgot about Pickles.
Not gravy? You don't have them in as gravy?
It's rockin' tuna gravy sauce.
Yeah, Rockin' Tuna Gravy Sauce and Sweetums in my phone. I really don't remember why. But he texted me the one day, and I saw Sweetums, and I was like, who the fuck is this? And it was him. But I've heard so many good things about Tonewood from everyone who's been here before, and we started off with the new freshly tapped pale ale, which I think is just delicious.
Yeah, sorry, I finished it already.
I had to fight myself not to.
It's really good. No, I'm still
after
working on
the
mine.
week I've had, I needed it.
It sounded like it. Yeah, my week was actually better than the last recording, so thank God.
That's good.
But of course, to anyone out there in podcast land, remember you can talk to us online. You know, where we have social media presence. We are at Beer Busters on the Twitter and the Instagram. On Facebook, we are Beer Busters Podcast. Don't forget that phone number. More people are using the phone number, and I'm so happy about that. 805-991-BEER, which is 805-991.
And when you leave a message, tell Dan to let me listen to them.
Yes, do that. It's 805-991-2337 for people who...
Dan's not lonely anymore.
I'm not. I really am.
You can also go to Patreon.
There it is.
Go to Patreon, become a patron of the podcast, help us keep the train running, keep the lights on, donate as little as $1 a month, and get access to cool behind-the-scenes perks, the best of which is, of course, Last Call, our exclusive bonus podcast of craziness for patrons only. Patreon.com/BeerBuster.
And I wanted to mention, too, for all the episodes that we always have that we're on location, there's always a lot of background noise, and it's always weird to edit. We're in the lab here. At
we
Tonewood.
are in the lab. This is pretty cool.
Thank you for letting us in the science room. There's lots of cool equipment here that's probably super expensive, and I'm afraid to look at because I will break it by looking at
I don't know.
it.
That monitor looks pretty cheap over there.
Very cheap monitor.
It looks
Well,
like
I
a
mean,
cheap
I
monitor.
feel like that's the least important piece of equipment on that table.
I think it's true.
Yeah.
I think we should also promote an upcoming event, and I know we're going to talk more about this a little bit later, but we will be returning to the Atlantic City Beer and Music Festival this year, Friday, March 23rd, and Saturday, March 24th. This year, though, we're recording there.
We are.
Yeah.
So we're very, very excited. So come on out to the AC Convention Center and keep an eye on our social media networks to win a pair of tickets to the fest.
That's right.
So we're really looking forward to
We're like
that.
a real radio show.
I know.
Giving away
I know,
tickets
right?
and everything.
Caller number 5. I don't know when that'll start.
Yeah.
Speaking
You don't
of-
have to call.
No. Speaking of the AC Beer Fest, are you guys going to be there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tonewood
Yeah.
will be in the house.
Tonewood is sponsoring the acoustic stage at
Oh, cool.
AC Beer Fest.
I didn't know they had an acoustic stage.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
Tonewood's it's the type of wood that's used in instrument making. That's
that
where
makes
we got our
sense.
name from. So they had an acoustic stage. We figured we should probably try and put our name on it. 'cause
Yeah.
that's what
That
we
makes
do.
perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That's
That
pretty
is
cool.
awesome.
That's really awesome.
So yeah, we're gonna have some friends out there playing some tunes for everybody.
Nice.
Having a good time.
Awesome.
That's
awesome.
so cool.
And we'll steal at least one of you to be on the show with us while we're there.
At least one.
Yeah.
For sure. I think you're our first official booking for the AC Beer Fest.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, details to be finalized still.
Steal my brother next time.
Speaking
he's
actually,
real good at this
Fair
stuff.
enough.
Speaking of which, maybe we should put the call out there on the podcast too. If you are going to the AC Beer Fest to pour for a brewery,
Yes.
and you'd be interested in being on the show, we're going to start trying to organize that. Steph, of course, being the organized one among us, is going to start getting into contact with people. But email Steph at beerbusterspodcast.com if you'd be interested in sitting in on the show that weekend.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right.
On that note,
On that note, let's go to news. Well, there's a lot happening in the beer world. Not such great things that are happening in the beer world. For starters, Green Flash has pulled distribution from 32 states, and they're laying off 15% of their workforce, facing increased competition from more than 6,000 U.S. craft breweries, which there it is. We're over 6 now. Green Flash Brewing announced plans to pull distribution from 32 states, and move that will also include a 15% reduction of its workforce. Speaking with Brewbound, Green Flash co-founder Mike Hinckley said the 15-year-old San Diego headquartered craft brewery had initially built a 50-state footprint with aspirations of being a heritage brand, but as thousands of startup breweries opened their doors and chipped into Green Flash sales, the company was forced to alter the strategy. We were doing pretty well close to the breweries, and in some strategic markets we had some strongholds, but we had a lot of territory that was in pretty steady decline, he said. Rather than continue to fight that battle, we took the resources from out there and brought them to a smaller territory as much as we could. As it retrenches, Green Flash will also, which also owns Alpine Beer Company, will cede about 18% of its wholesale business, according to Hinckley. We kept about 82% of our wholesale trade business, and we were pretty sparse and in decline in that other territory, so reeling it back to strength. Now we can put our sales and marketing resources into a tighter geographic footprint.
yeah, I think this. I think goes to show. We've talked on the show before about how
Ad nauseum.
But I think the future of the craft beer space, or the independent beer space, because apparently you're not supposed to say craft beer anymore either. I don't know what's going on. But I think
The death of craft.
yeah, I think it is going to be more localized. I think it's not only going to be harder and harder for breweries to become national, but as we see here, it's going to be harder for the breweries that are national
To stay.
that way,
Yeah.
because there are 6,000 new breweries, and tomorrow there'll probably be 12,000. I mean, it's so fast.
Pretty much.
And so it's a shame to see, a company like Green
Especially
Flash
a
have to
company
cut
that
back.
makes such great
Yeah,
beer.
they make
They
really great
do.
beer.
Yeah.
I mean, Dia de los Serranos is one of my favorite chili beers. The Alpine line is amazing, and I feel like they've really kept the integrity of those beers and the quality of those beers when they took over. And it's a shame. I think the more I drink craft beer, the more I appreciate brands like that make really solid, great beers.
Yeah.
However, I am the one that's saying, I don't want that. I've had it before. I want something different. So
And you are part of the problem.
I'm probably part of the problem too.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn with how I feel about wanting something you've had before. If I've had it and I know I like it, I will get it again.
It's
but
all about the unique check-in.
Yeah, I'd like to
I am a
experiment
slave
a little
to
bit.
Untappd.
You are. It's
Yeah,
all
you
right. But
Sue them when I need a liver transplant.
is this the bubble bursting? If we have this well-respected,
yeah, I mean, it's
brand,
it's definitely. I mean, it's kind of like I feel like I'm hearing bubble wrap, like pop, pop. I don't know. I mean, I think it's cool to see.
We have two very quiet people at the table.
I know.
Yeah.
It's taking it all in,
We're
right?
talking
Very
a lot.
strong opinions on this.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I know. I want to hear it. They know what we think.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, let's get some.
I
opinions.
mean, with a constantly evolving marketplace, you can't have a bubble because the bubble's constantly changing. So as long as the marketplace changes to meet customer demands, and as long as customer demands keep changing, the bubble can never burst. It can only evolve. When we have a static situation for a long enough time, like exists in Green Flash or NBC brands, those bubbles can burst because you have a known number of people that are interested in those beers. And when those things don't change, they hit a critical mass and they have to go down.
I thought you were a microbiologist, not an economist.
I'm a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
He's a Renaissance man, as it were. Well, Eli, what do you think? I mean, you're in the thick of this
I
business.
mean, I agree with Kyle. It's a changing marketplace for sure. I think local is definitely key to growing craft beer. It just helps in general being able to keep product fresh, and people can taste that,
Yeah.
And it's an
and there's-
experience, too, I think.
Absolutely. But there's even the best brewers, these products are very sensitive, and shipping them, far distances when there's another brewery that has a great brewer right in the neighborhood, it's hard to compete.
Yeah.
So.
And then especially, there's only certain styles of beer do lend themselves to being able to be a little more shelf
For
stable.
sure.
But yeah, you're not going to be able to get the dank IPA that everybody wants.
Yeah, and that's what's driving
on
craft
the other
beer
side
right
of the
now,
world.
too,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So, but I think it sucks to see companies like Green Flash and these craft beer companies that have been around for a long time and have established themselves pretty much nationwide. It sucks to see them having to cut back, but I think it is cool to see the other side of that, where newer breweries coming up,
Yeah.
Guys like you here at Tonewood that are very much more focused on the local community than I think used to be the case.
And I think you also have to think about it. They're not going out of business.
Yeah.
They're just not expanding as quickly as they had been in the past 10 years.
Right.
Not double-digit growth every year.
Right.
Maintaining their foothold and where they're at, and it's still a good thing for
And it's
for
not
beer.
the only industry that deals with this.
Oh, yeah.
Even
Oh,
like
totally.
the retail industry. Companies go out of business all the time.
Yeah.
Styles get
And restructure
discontinued,
and
and we survive. And as consumers, we move on, and we're always looking for the next new thing, not just in craft beer. So
Is Amazon the AB InBev of the retail space?
Oh,
I don't know
I don't know. I
Guess
don't
we'll
have
find out.
I don't have AB InBev Prime.
yet.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazon's working on that.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Probably are.
Well, speaking of businesses and going out of business, here's something else. Smutty Nose Brewing Company, which bills itself as New Hampshire's top craft brewery, is seeking an immediate buyer. The company is scheduled to be sold at bank auction on March 9th. Founded in 1994, the company employs 68 people and generates more than $10 million in revenue a year. The sale includes the Smutty Nose brand, its LEED Gold certified facility on the historic Towel Farm in Hampton, and a hayseed restaurant located next to the brewery on its 13-acre campus. The brewery is capable of producing 75,000 barrels a year, according to the company. However, in the last year, it has been running at about 50% capacity. The company's financial models were based on 20 years of consistent growth, but the explosion of microbreweries has led to changing dynamics in the marketplace, Smutty Nose owner Peter Eggleston said. This dramatic shift occurred just as Smutty Nose committed to a major infrastructure investment with the construction of the new production facility, and as the turmoil in the marketplace stabilizes, Smutty Nose, a trusted brand with strong consumer loyalty, can regain its footing with a major infusion of capital. Eggleston recently held a staff meeting in which he informed employees of the impending auction. I reminded them that the company's most valuable assets are the Smutty Nose brand and the people behind it. With the arrival of a new owner, we anticipate a smooth transition as we are committed to continuity. Eggleston stressed the company is open and will conduct business as usual.
So they're looking for someone to buy them.
They want to get bought right away.
I find that really interesting because there's nothing inherently wrong with any of their beers. In fact, they do try to innovate and evolve, especially with the Smut Labs brand. But the most interesting thing about them is the fact that I think they have a marketplace image that seems a little bit, I don't know, less than cutting edge. I don't know. People
Old.
they old.
Yeah.
Yeah. People just don't
Stale.
they seem uninterested in them just because of their name rather than what they actually produce.
Yeah.
In fact, Smutty Nose is at AC Beer Fest almost every year. And I think 2 years ago, they brought one of their new products called the Stallion. If you've had it, it's a wine barrel aged stout. And that particular version they brought to that AC Beer Fest was aged in Opus 1 barrels. Who was aging stouts in Opus 1 barrels? That's a really awesome thing they did, but nobody knows about it.
And nobody
nobody cares.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as much as, great beer is key to having a successful business, marketplace image, I feel like nowadays is almost more important.
So maybe they can get someone in there that just can freshen up the brand.
Yeah.
They already have a core lineup of beers.
But it's interesting, and like all these things that these stories and everything you're talking about is a result of the beer industry becoming more and more crowded, and I think that is what makes it so important now to have not only really good beer but good marketing as well, because you need to stand out, among a lot of noise, and so you could brew the best beers in the world, but people have to know who you are and people have to care who you are.
So will the opinion on Spunny Nose change depending on who buys them? I mean, what if AB InBev decides that they're going to buy craft breweries again instead of...
I don't see AB
Probably not, but what
buying
if some conglomerate like that swoops in and buys
There's
them up?
only a certain segment of beer consumers who actually really pay attention and care about that, I think. And I think to those people, it's gonna matter. But I think what's more important is whoever buys it, what they do with the brand,
right,
and how they go about trying to revitalize it.
So to step in as both a brewer and a brewery owner,
please
do. I would just say they're probably just over leveraged on debt, and it has nothing probably to do with their brand or their beer. Being beer people that we are, we probably think it's about the beer,
right? Yeah,
it's true.
It is also a business,
but it was probably they like they said they anticipated 20 years of growth, that the marketplace changed and didn't happen, and then they become over leveraged and
I mean if they're working
money
if they're working at 50% capacity on their production, that's huge.
It's still 30,000+ barrels.
It is, but it's not the 70, 75 that they were planning on producing and sending
and selling.
Yeah, but if you're set up properly and not over leveraged, you can make a very successful brewery making 30,000 barrels.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's bigger than any brewery in New Jersey.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Touche.
Yeah, indeed. It's interesting to see the continuing evolution of craft beer and the business behind it and what happens with these companies with it. And it's something that I know as we keep seeing articles on, I will certainly continue to bring it up on here, and we'll post it on our social media and everything. But it's good to get different opinions on all this and kind of see where it is from there.
Can I just point out there's a lot of plaid in here right now?
Yeah, there is.
There is. Well, there's 3 plaids.
Not from the brewer.
Yeah, the brewer is the one not wearing plaid.
Yeah, where are your cargo shorts?
He's still got his boots on.
It's damn cold in here.
Well, I mean,
it's gotten warmer.
Rich is wearing shorts. So
Rich always wears shorts.
He does, but
Rich
still.
is a vampire.
So speaking of the brewer not wearing cargo shorts and plaid.
Yes, not wearing cargo shorts, not wearing plaid. A little bit of a beard. A little stubble going, a little scruff. You're morphing into your brewer persona. But since we are here at Tonewood, I know you had brewed before, right? You in Colorado.
Yep.
Right. So where had you been out there?
So I was lucky enough. I started volunteering on a canning line at Telluride Brewing.
Okay.
Telluride, Colorado.
Which is not in like Denver, Colorado, like a lot of most beer people think. It's like in very southwestern Colorado.
Correct. Yeah, it's in the Four Corners region, so it's about 7 hours from Denver. Real remote, about 2,000 people.
Wow.
But these guys had a crazy dream to put a production brewery in the middle of nowhere, where it made it really hard to get stuff in and stuff out.
Right.
No, they're awesome dudes, and they just wanted to live in Telluride and ski and make beer, and they made it happen, and they're crushing it.
Good for them.
That's cool.
But yeah, started canning, and eventually they brought in a bunch of tanks, and they're like, you seem like you kind of know what you're doing.
What a great way to get a promotion.
Yeah, right.
Had you brewed it all before that?
I had homebrewed a little bit.
Okay.
Me and my brother, Taylor, who's now my partner, we started homebrewing like at my parents' garage when I was freshly out of college. And then about a year after that, I moved out to Colorado. And we always kept in touch, talked beer all the time. He continued homebrewing while he was still in college. And yeah, it was always kind of just a dream. And yeah, eventually made my way back to Jersey.
So did you move back to Jersey because you guys had the idea to open Tonewood?
Yeah. So at the time, myself and my now fiance were living together out in Colorado, and she had just finished graduate school, and couldn't really find a job for her. She's an occupational therapist, so it's a town of 2,000 people, working with people.
Like, why aren't more people being injured?
Well, you think with ski resorts,
Yeah, actually, that's true.
that'd be a great area.
So she works with like children with special needs and,
Oh,
and stuff
okay.
like that.
That plan didn't work.
No.
Yeah. So tell you right, it's all sports injuries, stuff
Right.
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So we decided to move back to Jersey, and she pursued her occupational therapy stuff, and I pursued a brewery.
I made it work, and you guys
Yeah, for
opened
sure.
2016 June, right?
Yeah.
So
It's like, is that right?
yeah,
What's today?
yeah, right.
So is Oakland the area of New Jersey that you're from? Is that
So-
why you chose to put the brewery here?
I'm from Acco, so down in the Pine Barrens. But when I moved back to the area, I wanted to be close to Philly, close to the city. I'd come out of the mountains of Colorado. Figured if I'm going to come out of the mountains, I might as well move to the city.
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Plus, when there's people around, people drink beer. So
That's true. That is very true.
That is true.
There's no, you could argue there's almost no better city in the country than Philly for drinking beer.
no, and I'd been away from the East Coast beer scene for 4 years and hadn't really seen what was going on. And coming back was like all these new beers, all these new breweries, and it was pretty awesome. So, and seeing what Philly is now, it's like wow.
Yeah.
Even though Denver's an awesome beer city, Philly
It's better.
I would, I would say you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think I've actually never been to Denver, so I'm not real
It's
familiar
amazing.
with it. I'm sure it is
If you go,
amazing.
you will be drunk every day.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But
I
I feel like
already am.
the Philly, like talking about the Philly, because we're in New Jersey, the Philly area,
Right.
is cool because there's a lot of sort of suburbs and outlying communities where I imagine it's easier to get your foot in the door or find a space and start a business than it would be like if you were trying to get in the city.
Yeah, I always wanted to
But
be
there's still a
a
demand.
Jersey brewery.
Yeah.
But a Jersey.
Brewery that
trying to
mooches off of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, try and bridge the divide. I
Right.
think there's a misconnect to people think if you're in New Jersey, you're New York,
Yeah.
But you walk outside the door here of the brewery and look down the street and you can see the skyline of Philadelphia.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I thought that there would be a good way to connect Jersey to Philly through beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is it like owning a business with your family?
I was going to ask that eventually.
They're my family. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Brothers and then cousins.
What?
They're brothers.
And Steph is
And
our
I'm their
cousin.
cousin.
Yeah.
No, it's great. We have our fights, but it's always easy to make up with family, and it's been awesome so far. My parents have supported us financially, like helping us get started.
Now, did I notice on your website it says that you guys built and operate the brewery?
Correct. Yep.
So talk about the building brewery part.
So, when we were thinking about this whole project, starting a brewery, it's very capital and labor intensive to build out a brewery. So one of the things that we thought would help us be successful was my father and myself and my brother my father had worked construction for 30 years, and we'd always been around the construction. So I worked at a brewery, saw what infrastructure needed to be put in place to make it production work. We said we could do this. We could do it ourselves, save us a ton of money, be able to start with as little capital investment as possible. We built out the brewery.
Awesome. So you guys have a 15-barrel brew house here.
Correct.
That's a pretty, I don't want to say massive, but it is a pretty big system for a new brewery.
Personally, I think that if you want to have a production brewery, that's kind of like the baseline. And my goal was always to start a production brewery. It's been good.
Very cool. So we are drinking an actual beer. I know we
You say-
mentioned we had short line, but some of us finished it before we started.
But another beer
recording.
has,
That was really
has
good. But another one has magically
mystically
appeared.
teleported onto the table as we were talking.
So
Mystically.
Eli, tell us about this deliciousness.
So it's a saison. Saison I guess can be anything. But this is our take on a farmhouse ale brewed with wheat, rye,
This
Pilsner malt, and then French saison yeast. Super dry. Finishes at like 0.3 Plato.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopped with Cascade. So a little bit of American hopping there.
It's super good. I think the best description is the first thing he said. It's like it's a saison.
It's a saison.
It's
Yeah.
a saison.
Yeah.
It's just a saison. It's nothing crazy. Nothing.
Yeah.
Super weird going on with it. It's a really well done. It hits all the right notes.
Yeah,
And
it's
heaven
clean.
forbid that something be exactly as
Yeah,
described.
Right,
Thank you. Right?
yeah. A nice just
Wait, you brew
traditional-
beers to style?
To
What the
style,
hell is
yeah.
wrong with you?
Somewhat.
And I love a good saison. This is really nice.
Yeah, saisons for me are usually hit or miss, and this is certainly a hit.
This would be amazing in a wine barrel.
Ooh,
Yeah, well, you could do a lot of really cool stuff with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing we've got a
I was-
dozen of them.
Yeah.
Say, there's a lot of barrels out there. Yeah. So let's talk about that. You guys, what do you have going on in barrels? And like when was barrel aging always like something you wanted to do with the brewery, or did that come sort of?
Yeah, it was. It was something we didn't really do much when I was at Telluride.
Mhm.
We did some clean stuff in barrels.
Right.
He was an old school brewer. He was kind of afraid of the
Yeah.
bugs.
The bugs. Yeah.
Which I am too.
Yeah.
Hence the lab.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have some of the saison that we're drinking right now, aging in some Chardonnay, and then we have a Golden Strong with re-fermented with Jersey blueberries, fermenting in a mix of Chardonnay and Merlot barrels.
So how much do we have to pay you to taste that?
I should probably taste it.
So is the plan to bottle those beers?
It is, yeah. So we're in the middle of not in the middle. We're about to get ready to start an expansion project here.
Oh, cool.
That is going to include 1,100 square foot warehouse for strictly barrel aging and blending and bottling. Hoping to bring in 2 15-barrel fooders, more barrels, blending tank. We just got our blending tank. We just got our bottler. So yeah, that's going to be the Tonewood, sour barrel
Right.
aging projects.
That sounds exciting.
Will that
That's
be?
cool.
Is there room for that here, or is that?
Yeah. So
I didn't realize
this building's
how much
a huge
space
maze.
you guys
Yeah.
had here. You walk in the tasting room, you wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, and that was what drew me to this space in particular, was the fact that as we grew, we could kind of take over more space.
Yeah,
and do
sort of like fill
more
in
projects.
the nooks and crannies back here.
The
that-
nooks and crannies.
yeah, you don't even know they're here when you're out in the main area. Yeah.
So
But yeah.
right now you have core brands that you self-distribute
Yeah.
out.
I wouldn't say we have core brands. We basically have one core brand, and that would be our Fuego IPA.
Yeah.
That's been the mainstay that's been sticking around.
And
for
you
the better part of the year.
self-distribute that
We
around?
self-distribute that in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
3 counties in New Jersey. We just started moving up towards the Princeton area, but we're mainly in Gloucester, Camden, and Burlington counties.
Now, is that just kegs, or do you distribute cans as well? Because I
Distribute
know you have a
cans.
shit ton of cans out there right now.
Yeah,
Indeed.
we do distribute cans. That's always been, part of the business model is to be a packaging, distributing brewery, get into stores. And our guys, Ryan and Jake, have done an awesome job getting us out there and
So
getting us in the right spots.
I guess what I'm leading to then is once you bottle these barrel beers, will they be strictly here at Tonewood, or will you also distribute those out?
Those will probably initially start rolling out just here. It'll be super limited, depending on...
Wait in line, people.
Yeah.
Put your chairs out.
It's going to be depending on how much we can actually crank out. Hopefully Kyle here can help us crank out
Save
bunch.
me a bottle.
Yeah, right.
Remember
Sorry,
who just
you-
brought you back a
sorry.
box of E OEC.
I hope so. Really excited to get that started, and I think it'd be a great opportunity, and people would be really excited. There's already South Jersey, I think, is already doing a better job at sort of exploring the sour, wild, funky character that beer has these days, especially with examples like Kelly Green and Kate May producing world-class examples of these styles. And it'd be great for Tonewood to be one of them as well.
And I just had some stuff from the Referend.
Yeah, the Referend. Yeah, they're... And
I
the
was
Referend,
blown away by
it's
those
all
guys.
it's all South
So
Jersey.
shout out to you guys
Yeah,
if you're listening. Your beer's
Did you
great.
have you been there recently?
yeah.
Did you have the glue vine in the crock pot
No,
that
I
they
didn't have
served
the-
in mugs?
I had the
Holy
ice
shit!
Ice Nine, and I had
wanted
the
to bathe in it.
La Flamme. I think it was La Flamme, the canned pizza.
I've been
sour.
at Glue
Oh my
Vine
gosh.
since I was in Berlin.
It was, but it's a Berliner Weiss base
Yeah, they're-
instead of it.
they're
It
doing
was
it-
unreal.
They're doing it right. And
Unreal.
As it keeps evolving, like I said, it's more of a culture in South Jersey that they're sort of grabbing onto that. I think North Jersey has the IPAs, like they
Yeah.
really push that. And down here with Philadelphia across the bridge, it's sort of anybody's game. So you really see more of a little bit experimentation across multiple styles rather than a focus on one. Philadelphia is not exactly what you would call a town that's one way or the other. There's everything for
Give
everybody
us
as far
it
as
all.
beers. Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
all grew up on Monk's Cafe.
yeah,
we
Monk's
want it
Cafe,
all.
it's Belgian beers and sours, and you can go over to Brew or Kraftwerks in Northern. I mean, it's just expansive and inclusive, and anything that wants something can get it.
Anything and everything.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, you're both Jersey boys. Think back even like 5 years ago. Did you ever think we'd be sitting here having conversation about how amazing the sour beer scene is in Central and South Jersey right now?
I couldn't have predicted it at all.
It's amazing. It's phenomenal.
I moved to Colorado because there was no beer.
Yeah.
It was one
When
of
you
the
came back
reasons.
and said, look what happened when I left. What the hell's going on? So we talked a little bit about your distribution, and this is in no way a contrived setup for something that we talked about before we started recording.
Leading the witness.
But wouldn't it be awesome if you distributed beer in Philly?
It would.
Yeah.
Luckily, we just made that happen today.
Oh, my God.
Oh, breaking news.
I need that on the soundboard. Oh my god!
Done.
Put that in post, Stan.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're stoked. We signed with these guys, Nebulous Beverage, small family-owned distributor, distributing some great brands, sour beer. Speaking Una Annie out of Chicago.
Amazing stuff.
They got Single Cut out of New York. Some other Modern Times. Some
It's
great
nice.
brands.
It's a nice family.
So
Yeah,
we're
very
really
nice family.
stoked to be part of those guys and to get rolling.
Well, they do distribute to Lancaster as well. Just saying.
They do.
Yeah.
So we could get your beer at the fridge. Would be fun.
Even closer to
'Cause
Steph.
Lancaster's a little closer.
You have
for
to
me.
climb over all those dead farmers first.
So
We'll loop back to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So, do you have a launch date for
So-
Philly?
we're thinking March 9th.
Nice.
South Philly Tap Room.
Yeah.
Launch party.
Cool.
It's less than a mile from our house.
It is.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I've walked there many times.
Yeah.
No excuse.
That's pretty good.
You guys
March
have to
9th.
cover that one.
Steph wrote it down. Put it in the calendar, Steph.
I will put it in the calendar. If I don't, you won't ever remember it.
That's true. That's
so
why I said-
very true.
but
That
that's
is
pretty
super
cool.
exciting. And then with Philly Beer Week coming, just a few months after that, you
Yep.
guys could do some Tonewood events in Philly. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, we're just excited to be part of the beer scene in Philly because it's, like we said, it's one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
if
And I
not
mean,
the best.
You are like a stone's throw away. Like it's really
Yeah.
well, it was a hop, skip, and a jump for Dan and I
It's
to get
just
here
a
from the
toll
city.
away.
Yeah.
Well, the
and,
toll's going back.
Just a
Yeah.
total away.
Yeah, because they don't want you to leave Jersey.
Yeah, it
But
made
yeah, it's really
sense.
cool.
It made sense for us to move that way first before we move further in New Jersey.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're launching at South Philly Tap Room, do you have other places you'd like to see your beer on tap or stocked on a shelf anywhere in particular that's like, oh my god, I have to get there?
Yeah, tons. I don't know.
gonna say,
Where do
but-
we start?
It's
All
like
of them.
where's your dream place to see your beer on tap?
I would like to posit our mini fridge in the dining room.
Remember when you tried to talk me out of getting a kegerator? Hey, think of the opportunity this could bring.
Well,
You can have mine.
Yes.
You
We can
just
have-
got to convert it back because it's
Yeah.
converted for corny kegs.
you can have a kegerator if you take care of it.
Yep, exactly. You don't know how much work it is. And Anyway,
I'm up for the challenge.
Eli hasn't answered the question.
Anyway,
Wait, you asked me a question.
Maybe because nobody let me.
Yeah, that's true.
This is what happens.
No, but if I could ever put beer on at Monk's Cafe, I mean,
I had a feeling you'd say
I might just like hang them up, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Going to get a pint of Pliny, going and get some Tonewood.
That's where I
next
had
to
my
it.
first Pliny.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
my first many Russian River beers.
No, I remember driving back. I went to college out in Central PA, driving out back home and going into Philly and going to Monk's and drinking good beer when I was 22 and being like, what are all these things?
Yeah.
What are you doing to my taste buds?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, that would be a dream come true for
That's
sure.
cool.
I have a very hard-hitting question. Tell me about the possum.
Possum. You guys not fish guys? No.
No, not really.
Sorry.
No. Harry, right?
I would go out in Toadie's Possum Kingdom.
Harry the possum?
There's a dumpster possum.
Dumpster Possum.
I feel like there has to be at least
We
one good
have
story
it.
here.
I don't have any. Ryan has some. I
It's
think.
terrifying. I don't know. What
Oh,
else
you probably have better dumpster
What else
possum
do you need?
stories.
What else do you
Tell
need?
it-
It's a possum on top of a dumpster.
Oh, on
Anything.
top of the dumpster?
Well,
like
I mean,
king
like-
of the dumpster?
No, there are no kings. There are no paupers. It's a possum. It's terrifying.
The dumpster.
It's not a grizzly
The
bear.
dumpster is a
Have you ever
communist
seen
state.
a possum up close? It's like when they show you bears on TV. You're like, it's not that big, and then you're standing next to a bear, and you're like, that's enormous. Why didn't they ever tell me this?
Why didn't they ever tell me
Why didn't they
this?
tell me bears were this dangerous?
And they're legitimately scary looking.
Has the possum tried to attack you?
I've never stayed long enough to find out. Who would do that?
Okay, do me a favor. From now on, when you go out there, wear a GoPro. So at least we can get like some fun video footage of it. I mean, you can run away.
So when I'm
but-
in the hospital with rabies, you'd be like, I got the footage.
well, no, you don't need to. We just need a clip just
a
to see
clip?
it, and he goes, ah, and then you run.
Although if you did get bitten, it would be a much better video.
Think about all the Instagram followers you guys would get.
We could
Does the
have a whole
two-thirds rule-
Instagram
We
do a whole
page
Harry-
for the
yes, for the
dumpster
possum.
possum.
We need an Instagram page for the possum.
Does the 2/3 rule apply to hospital bills?
What's the 2/3 rule?
Where we have to pay for it? Is that what you're talking about?
2 out of 3 people vote.
Oh.
We don't have insurance. Sorry.
I see.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, no, we're not covered for that. Sorry.
Nope.
We'll suggest that you do terribly stupid things, but we're not responsible for
What you
happens
do
after
with the
that.
suggestion is on you.
Well, who was here first? You guys or the possum? So maybe the possum's pissed because you like invaded the territory.
Possum's a new creature.
Possum came for the beer.
He's only been here like 2 months, I think.
All right, I thought there'd be way more exciting stories behind that, but I guess
Well, I
not.
thought it was
There
pretty
will be after the
exciting,
GoPro.
after the GoPro.
After the GoPro.
Stay tuned. Follow Tonewood on Instagram at Tonewood Brewing.
You know what you should make his Instagram handle if you do one for himself.
At Harry the Dumpster
No,
Possum.
at Dumpster Possum.
At Dumpster Possum.
With the O or without the O?
Ooh.
I guess it matters how how good of a mood they're in.
Wow. Yeah. We've only had 2 beers on the show so far. We're derailing.
What should we drink next?
I did shotgun a beer after canning, so...
Well, that's allowed.
Was it one of yours that you canned freshly off the line?
Tell me it was the pills.
Absolutely. No, it was some Fuego. Ice cold.
That was good.
I got brain freeze.
Yeah.
You should have done that on your Instagram page too. Look at all the people that paid attention to that guy that shotgunned the beer after the Eagles game.
Oh, God.
I didn't see this. No, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what you're
Are you a
talking about.
Luddite?
Also, it was before.
He's a brewer. Of course he's
Yeah,
a
right.
Luddite.
Yeah, that's true.
Brewers do
But it
go
was
on the
literally,
internet.
I couldn't go on any social
Yeah.
media for like 3 days without seeing that guy's picture.
He found his way in the background of like 4 different newscasts for the
Yeah.
game.
That's-
and shotgunned a beer on camera every
See?
time.
You know?
Yep.
Really? That's pretty awesome, actually. Cheers to that guy. I like that.
Dog mask and shotgunning beers.
God. Amazon sold out of those stupid dog
Yeah, like
masks.
instantly.
Yeah, right away.
Instantly.
What if you could get the possum to shotgun a beer?
That'd be the greatest achievement of my life.
Steph is not giving up on this possum.
I feel like the possum would need opposable
You
thumbs for that.
don't know him like that. It's opossum for you.
Oh, possum. Is that how it is?
Oh, possum.
You don't know him like that.
Sir Possum.
Sir Possum.
Possum song.
Sir Posselot.
Excuse me. Sorry. It's early for that to be happening. So what are we drinking next? It's because I had to swallow down a piece of pizza.
So this is our part of our series, we're doing a bunch of single hop beers, just trying to experiment, get all the flavor profiles from different classic and new age hops. And this is a classic hop here. This is our monotone Cascade. So yeah, gives you all the classic. I feel like this beer, it just kind of screams, old school.
It does. It's like
Yeah.
pre-Haze Craze IPA.
Haze Craze.
Yeah, a pre-Haze Craze. Did I say that right?
You did.
Close
I
enough.
feel like it's been a while since we had a single hop beer on the show.
Yep.
I
And we're
really
going to
like
do
single
two of them.
hoppers.
We're going to
Yeah.
do two of them. And believe it or not, the two that we'll do are made with the same grist.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see how the hops just transform the beer.
That's really cool.
So how many of these monotone beers have you done?
So the Citra we have on is our third. So we've done Mosaic, this was Cascade, and then we did Citra, and we have a Simcoe in the tanks right now.
So is the plan to just keep doing different hops?
Yep. Yeah.
So it'll kind of be like your scratch series, as it were.
Yeah.
Or the monotone series, as they call it.
Thank you.
You know what you can go do.
Yeah, that's a really cool name, though. I like that monotone.
I like how it's lowercase mono dot tone dot name of hop.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that?
I don't know.
The Possum?
I think
Is the Possum head of marketing? Is that what's going on?
no. So my fiance does the board and writes up all the beers usually.
okay.
And I think she just wrote it up that way, and I was like, "That's awesome.
That's cool.
That is really
Keep
cool.
that. That's
It's
cool.
kind of hipstery.
Yeah."
A little bit.
Do you have any plans of going back to these recipes again? Are they like once and done kind of deal
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
monotones?
So
Okay.
the plan is actually to do a rotating can of these beers. So
That's awesome. Is there any way we could taste it side by side with the other one?
yeah, it's coming out.
Oh, they're ready. Look at this.
It's like they thought ahead.
There's magic beer fairies in here.
Magic beer fairies.
Beer fairies.
This is the best lab ever.
So, like Eli was explaining before, these are the same exact grist. Only thing different is the hops.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Citra's
It
got
look
some
they look
resin.
like
They-
two
they
completely
look different.
Yeah,
beers.
they really do.
And what's interesting is that, oh, that's nice. You expect like all the color in a beer you think comes from the grains, and you wouldn't think that sort of a change would affect the appearance.
Oh,
of
you
it.
haven't had this one.
It's almost I've only smelled it now, but it's almost so piney, but like beyond pine. It's like culinary and like herbal and like
Beyond Pine, the next Yankee Candle.
Beyond
Wait,
pine.
this is Citra?
Have you not had Citra before?
Yeah, but I feel like I've had a fuck ton of Citra. Thank you very much, Kyle.
I think anybody who drinks beer regularly has had a fuck ton of Citra.
but I feel like this like just
especially hoppy beer.
reminds you what a great
Yeah.
hop Citra
Yeah.
is. Like this is it's Cascade. I like Cascade. That's fine. It's good. But this is like holy fuck. It reminds you like Citra is a good hop.
I was speaking to Ryan about 30 minutes ago, and I said this is about as close as you're going to get to green in about 200 miles. Treehouse green, if you're not aware.
I was like green.
Yeah, treehouse. treehouse.
green, is it?
Treehouse
I don't
green.
know.
Wait, that's
It's
a-
about as close as you can get to
That's a
treehouse green.
color.
And that's what I'm talking about. And we're guilty of this. You don't need to drive 4, 5, 6 hours to get great beer. There is great beer right here in our own backyards. And I think we just need to. There's some really shitty beer in our backyards too, but come to Tonewood. They'll hook you up. And buy the monotone Citra.
Yeah, it's
right.
awesome.
Yeah, I was excited to make this beer because I first started using Citra when I was at Telluride. We had a pale ale that had Citra in it, and it's my favorite beer to make. So this is just kind of that on steroids.
These are the same hopping rates?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say they-
No, I mean between the two. Between the two monotones.
Yeah, same exact amount of hops.
Wow.
Actually,
Same times and
no.
everything?
There's half the amount of dry hop in the Cascade.
Okay.
It just felt like the Cascade, needed a restrained hopping rate just because we were going for like a more classic flavored
yeah,
beer.
Yeah.
Where in Citra we were going all, new age hop
Right.
profile.
Yeah, yeah, and what's interesting is like when you think Citra, and I think it's partly because of the name, you think of that citrusy
Right.
sort of character, but with doing the late additions and the dry hopping, and more of it, you do like more of the dankness and the earthiness
Yep.
comes out of it, which is really cool. It's
Super herbal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
should.
I am
Nobody
actually
gets any
rating this
rabies.
beer, guys.
Oh,
Whoa.
Are
Hey
you one
now.
of those you don't rate anything that's not good enough to rate?
No, I don't rate
There's
things
nothing at
because
all.
I don't think my opinion of a beer should affect whether or not a person is going to rate a beer.
Except in this case.
Except I give all Pilsners 5 stars because I think every brewery should make a Pilsner, unless it's a shitty
I
Pilsner.
was going to say, what if it's a bad Pilsner?
But I want every brewery to make a Pilsner, so I
Should
rate
we
them
get
all.
some mullet cut up
We
in
should get some
this?
mullet. That beer is amazing. I love Pilsners, but everyone already knows that.
Yes.
So what have we not talked about yet? Because
It's
I'm
even
still in
more
love with
hipster
this
than
beer.
PBR.
What,
This is
Pilsners?
the hipstery style. It's like half hipster.
Ooh, I like
half,
this.
No, you
half
can-
beer nerd.
No.
Yeah, like
All right, guys.
Pilsner, first of
Let's
all,
just not talk for the
it's
next 20
crisp, delicious, refreshing, amazing, and you can't hide behind it. I will judge any brewery on their Pilsner.
I'm not saying it's not a hallmark of
Steph
quality-
liked Pilsners
qua-
before it was
Tonewood
cool.
is my new
quality
favorite brewery.
and quality and skill
jeez.
because it is.
I was
It
just
is.
handed a can of
However,
Pilsner.
loving a Pilsner is akin to being like the new guy on the block. It's like, have you
love
had this
this
new
can.
Treehouse IPA? It's the most juicy IPA I've ever had in my life.
I love this can.
I
This
love
is
that Rich is
awesome.
in the back of that picture.
I bet Rich also loves that.
That being said, it is an exceptional Pilsner.
I don't
know.
know. You do realize that
I
you
love
like
Pils.
Pilsners before it was cool, right? That
I've
makes you a
never seen-
Pilsner
Yeah.
hipster after all.
I'm not a
never seen
hipster.
that level of bliss.
I was there before you. I like Pilsner before you.
I'll let you have that.
That is one of the things at Tonewood we want to continue to do is always have a lager.
This can is,
This is our
freaking
lager.
awesome. The socks, the mullet. Oh my god. Oh
Smoking
my-
a joint too.
love it.
It's a hand-rolled
I was just
cigarette.
going to say.
I was gonna say, how did you get away with that?
Because it's a
Did this
hand-rolled
really pass?
cigarette.
It's a hand-rolled cigarette.
Okay, I misinterpreted the image. I apologize.
Misinterpreted.
Although when we were at last time we were at Stickman, we were talking about the label design. Didn't they have to take? There was a guy smoking a cigarette, and they had to take it off, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should cut this out.
Wasn't
Remember, we're not allowed to talk.
Wait, doesn't the label have to get approved?
We also have to mention these cans are not actually for sale. These are novelty labels created exclusively for the
Is
podcast.
this like bidding on bottles and not the beer
Yeah, right.
inside?
Exactly. Oh my
We're an
goodness.
outlaw brewery here, Tonewood.
Outlaw brewery, yeah. Sounds about right.
That explains the possum. Oh my god, you guys could totally make like a Western movie here.
it?
Wow.
Cowboy
It
hats.
only explains the
on
possum.
possum.
That's all it is.
Never mind. It's a good idea in my head. I just love that mullet cut was the bonus beer.
All of a sudden, we got a lot of beer on the table.
We do.
Yeah, we kind of quick fired through those.
I'm okay
But,
with it though.
we can keep sipping on them for a bit.
That's all right. So you guys are also members of the Garden State Craft Brewers Guild and also the Brewers Association.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and talk about that so I can drink a little.
No, it's always good to surround yourself with your brothers and
I thought he was just going to say, yep,
Or
we're members of
sisters.
those.
or sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, brothers and sisters. Sorry. Thanks, Ryan.
I have 2 pairs of pink boots. Thank you very much.
What's the second pair for?
They're the ones that are clean.
I was going to say,
One's for display.
The ones are for
use and
brewing.
one's for display.
The ones are to keep in the closet. I don't know why.
The other two she just wears around her neck like a necklace.
Earrings. Come on.
Earrings. Your ears fall off.
Anyway, he was answering the question.
No, both great organizations that continue promoting our business and the beer scene in general. Without the VA, craft breweries would I don't know, still be trying to find themselves probably.
Yeah, yeah, and not have a voice. I mean, either in the financially, economically against the bigger players, and also, I know we don't want to talk about the politics, but in that realm,
For sure.
for the sort of lobbying for the rights and the ability to sort of conduct business in the beer space.
Now the way that the BA is trying to educate the consumers on what is actually independent craft.
Yeah.
Trying to promote that and make sure that people know that you are getting your beer from a local brewery, from a family-owned business, supporting the community, not somebody who's just another label that they're
Right,
sticking on
in their
on
giant portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing
It's
great.
cool. It's important. I mean, we mentioned that a little bit earlier, but I think there is a huge segment of the beer drinking consumers out there, and I think it's a shrinking segment that don't pay attention to that sort of thing. And I think more and more you see people who maybe aren't like huge beer nerds, but are into drinking good beer, that are starting to pay attention to who actually owns this company, who's actually making this beer. Where is my money going when I buy this beer? So
that's the opportunity for breweries like myself and other local breweries to gain new customers. Is educating the person down the block from the brewery on why you're making beer for the community, why it's good to support us, and why it's going to be a better product.
Yeah.
So that's what's helped drive Tonewood here. It's been the local community, Oakland. They were super supportive. It's been crazy.
Not only is the community important to you guys, but it seems like sustainability is something that's really important.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about the bar out there.
Yeah. So going back to all the construction that was done here, not only did we do all of the construction, but we sourced all the wood for the bar, for a lot of the aesthetics of the tasting room from a farm in Salem County. So it's super South Jersey, even souther.
Even souther.
Nice.
That might be a hashtag for tonight.
So he has it's a family friend. He has a mill on his property, and he harvests only standing dead timber off of 110 acres. It's a forestry stewardship. So he basically takes care of this land.
Yeah.
And all the wood that we use to do the bar, any of the aesthetics, drink rail, shelves that have the beer glasses on them, we used from his property. So.
There's that super cool table out there, the low one with like the hole in the middle.
Yes.
Remember last time we were here, the guy
Somebody
put
dropped the
his
beer
glass
through
down?
it.
Even better
There's
story
one right
about that
through.
table.
Oh,
Yes,
here
good
we
story.
go.
Yeah.
Does it involve the possum?
No.
Damn it.
So that
What if
table.
he stuck his head up through the hole in the table? That could be the intro to the Western. Anyway,
Oh my
sorry.
God.
I'm writing this whole thing. I'm writing a screenplay.
So that table, that was from a tree that fell in a storm from my childhood home.
Oh, no way.
really?
And
Wow.
my dad built the table.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
That's
that
amazing.
table, and then there's like the big high top.
Yeah.
That's the same tree.
Oh, really?
Yep.
wow.
So the tree fell, and he saved the wood and sliced it up, milled it in our property, and is making furniture and stuff out of it.
That's really cool.
Yep.
And you guys built the cold box here, too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I
if
mean,
you
we
had
did everything.
If you had an
I mean-
exciting ending to the story, I can ask that question later.
No, I was gonna mention how my father also builds all of our tap handles that you see at any of our
Oh, okay, yeah.
any of
Wow.
our draft accounts off of wood that we get from that forestry stewardship. So he shapes them and then brands them, and it's just kind of our thing.
That's super cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So you guys built the cold box here, too, right?
The 2 cold boxes.
Oh, the 2 cold boxes.
There was one we were moving pallets of beer into. You didn't even know when we locked you in the room.
Oh, well, we heard some banging. We thought we were going to be trapped
Yeah.
in here for life.
Or we're going to open the door and like everything else will have collapsed and be like an apocalyptic wasteland. Like, what happened?
Yeah, we did all the construction work. It's like been one of the things that helps us survive.
Yeah.
Not spend all our money on construction.
Yeah.
What was the building before you moved in?
This building's been a million things.
What hasn't
As
the
you can
building
see,
been?
as you're like, where are you doing that? Where are we going?
Yeah.
It is a maze.
Yeah. I think originally it was built by this company, Terminal Vending.
Mm-hmm.
So they did vending machines for the South Jersey area, like as old as like when you could buy cigarettes from vending machines, and like hot chocolate and stuff like that.
All right.
So that was who built it, and then it's just been like a rotating cast of characters since then. There used to be another building across the street where the parking lot is that burnt down. That was theirs. So
It's nice that there's a parking lot there, just
It is.
saying.
It's not nice that it burnt down. That kind of
No,
sucks.
but
It's
it's nice that there's a
parking
parking lot.
Yeah.
you know, I didn't even think about that when we put the brewery here. didn't even think that would be nice for.
You have
Oh,
no
to have
idea.
the parking, really?
Yeah, I mean, it
I
wasn't.
would have been like
It's
a major
huge.
consideration. Yeah.
No, I didn't
Oh
even.
my
I didn't even
gosh.
think about it. I was
Nice.
And then I was like, oh, because I didn't expect. I thought we'd have 20 people in the tasting room.
No. Something's going on in the corner of the
Hell
table.
is go-
Oh boy, what are we looking at? Oh Jesus!
It's a dumpster possum.
I was just reading it like you guys posted it, then I realized what it was. Look at the page. Look at the handle of the page.
Oh no! What is it?
Oh my
Oh,
god!
somebody actually did it. You guys are amazing.
Oh my god!
They made at dumpster possum.
Everyone follow at Dumpster Possum with no O
No O.
No, because he's informal
on the Twitter.
He's informal on the internet.
Dixon line.
'Cause he's north of the Mason-Dixon line. That's a good point.
Oh my god!
Well, he's getting tagged in the episode post. That's for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my god! I'm gonna follow him right now.
I think our next beer needs to be dumpster possum.
Dumpster
Yes,
possum. I think
please.
so. I think so. Absolutely.
Sweet.
It should just be a hazy IPA.
That's like our
how I'm
hardest
gonna
thing.
describe all my hazy IPAs now.
Our hardest thing is coming up with names. Now we got one.
There you go.
Dumpster possum.
We are his first follower.
Yeah.
All right.
It might be a she.
Or she.
Very welcome.
There.
Hashtag them.
It.
There.
Oh my god! I'm gonna retweet this too.
Equal opportunity rabies.
Equal opportunity raising.
Equal opportunity rabies.
Mike Noon in the building, everybody.
What's up, Mike?
What's up?
Brewer extraordinaire.
Peace out, guys.
Just giving
Say
a
hi
shout
to
out.
Harry on your way out.
Harry.
The dumpster possum.
Oh yeah.
He's got a Twitter now.
So that is
That
one of
guy
our
would be
very
his
talented
sidekick.
brewers.
I love him. He's got the neck movement. They could both pop out of the hole in the
Oh,
table.
jeez.
I'm sorry. I need to stop. It could be a cartoon if nothing else.
Mike and Possum.
Mike and Possum.
So follow up with a serious talking point. You say he's one of your talented brewers. How many people do you have on your brew team here?
So there's 4 of us in production. Myself, my brother, Mike, and Weston.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
How often you guys brew?
This week was every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that kind of almost every day, most of the time?
It's usually like 3 days a week
Okay,
right
cool.
now. We're basically turning tanks as fast as we can right now until
yeah.
we get some more.
cool.
The people want the beer.
Yeah, they do.
So now that and maybe the distribution doesn't even matter, but now that you're distributing into Philly, are you looking to start collaborating with some Philly area brewers?
Yeah, I mean, our first collaboration we did last week with 2SP Brewing.
We love them.
Super stoked about that. That was so Mike was a brewer at Iron Hill, and he brewed with Ruby at 2SP, and hooked it up on a collaboration. Was super stoked because I had drank their beer before I knew that Mike even knew Ruby. Knew the beer was awesome. So it was our first collab. I was like, couldn't be happier about doing my first collaboration with a brewery that I can really say is making really awesome beer.
Yeah.
What sort of beer is it? What beer style?
So it's a hazy double IPA.
Oh,
Of course it is.
Jeez Louise. Aren't there enough of those out there?
Yeah, big double IPA, spelt oats, hopped in the kettle with Mosaic, dry hopped with Galaxy, and what is it? Is that the other one? I don't know.
Insert
7?
No,
No?
insert hop.
it's a
name
German
here.
hop actually. Mandarina Bavaria.
There you go.
Das Hoppen.
That's not
Hoppen.
a variety.
It came to me.
That sounds delicious. Any idea on when it will be flowing?
Yep. So can release at 2SP on the 31st and
Of
draft-
January.
Yep.
So you guys missed it. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm talking to our listeners.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's
No,
great.
but we'll share
It's
it on
all
our
gone.
social. We'll share it
It's
on
all
our
gone
social
now.
media.
We will have shared it on our social
We
media.
will have shared it on our social media, so our listeners will know.
Podcast time gets weird with
Yep.
tenses. It's like
And ears.
ears.
Yeah,
Some people have fast ears, other people don't.
Yeah.
and then draft the day after.
Cool.
Cool.
So it'll be cool because it'll be the first beer we put out in PA. and then they're going to be putting it out in Jersey too, because they have Jersey distro now.
That's cool. That's cool. You got making that bridge like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's cool.
Well, I feel like on that note, thanks for playing a game.
Is
Yeah,
it
let's
that
have
time?
some fun.
Yes.
All right, let's
well,
do
I
it.
mean, I was already having fun. I don't know about you guys.
More
You're
fun.
Rude to
It is.
say that you weren't.
Even more funner.
Even more funner.
We're trying to fun up to 13.
In the style of a game.
Yeah.
Yes!
The best part is,
I love
Eli,
when we
you're,
get brewers
you're
to
dancing,
dance.
but nobody else behind you can hear that.
Yeah, nobody without headphones can hear the music.
Well, Wayne, what do we got happening?
Oh, boy. So Kyle's going to sit in this game. I put a question mark next to his name on the scoreboard because I didn't know if he was going to be here for the game, but he is.
He doesn't want to leave. See, he knows how fun
No,
we
he can
are.
stay here the whole night. That's fine.
Wild card.
Wild card. All right.
Wild card.
So that music, the music that no one else in the room can hear.
Also a great name for a beer.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. Might be taken. You should Google dumpster possum before this episode comes out, just to make sure it's already done. Okay, it's been done. It's been
I
done.
hope you registered it.
As long as we get credit for that, or at least
I'll
partial
just
credit.
wait for my
Get a
cease
mention.
and desist. It's
You
okay.
guys got 3 weeks before this hits the
Just
internet.
put
So
thank you, Beer Busters, in the.
Just a
the-
mention. That's all we
yeah,
want.
that's it. At us.
At us.
At us,
At
bro.
us. Cheers, internet, and welcome to Happy Funtime Games, a nested subroutine of the data type trivia called Once Per Execution of the Program Beer Busters podcast. As we continue to spiral inexorably towards the inevitable cyber apocalypse.
Yeah.
What? Say that again?
The cyber apocalypse. And the complete obsolescence of all humanity, we are constantly discovering that anything people can do, computers can do better. Which includes, unsurprisingly, naming beers.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so this is a game that
Yeah,
was
boy.
inspired by a random thing I came across on the internet. There's a science blog called, wait for it, Lewis and Quark.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And so they did this experiment where they created an artificial intelligence program and tasked it with coming up with beer names. They fed the program over 100,000 beer names from Beer Advocate to kind of give it a baseline data set. And it spit out beer names under a couple of broad categories. So today, in Happy Funtime Games, we are pitting man versus machine in the ultimate struggle for survival.
My money's on machines.
My money's on Kyle McCarran.
Wild card.
Can
Wild
he go
card.
first
Wild
in every
card.
round?
Well, here's the thing, guys.
I want odds, and I want to take all of your money.
I have no money to take.
None of the beers in this game today are real.
Wait, what?
Oh. So it's fabrication or fabrication.
It's man or machine. You have to decide whether the name of the beer was invented by
By the
me
machine or you.
or the
Okay.
artificial intelligence. Yes, by a damn dirty ape or a cold, unfeeling cyber brain. Man or machine. And we will begin to my left.
Oh, shit.
In time-honored tradition, our first name of the game was this beer name invented by man or machine. It is Yam Quack.
Wait, is it Wayne or machine?
It's me or this artificial
Wayne or
intelligence.
machine, okay.
Yep.
I'd like to interject quickly that we should be making a beer called Possum Sauce.
Possum sauce. That is
Yes!
the best.
Possum sauce.
That is yes,
Yes!
possum sauce. That's going to be in a future.
I was going to say
Happy
future
Funtime
libation
game.
or fabrication.
Yep. All right, so Yam Quack though, Dan.
Yam quack. That I want to say machine.
All right, Dan
No,
thinks that
that's
was
so
machine.
Wayne.
Oh, Steph.
I think it's
that's
so Wayne.
God damn it! I
Okay.
think you're right.
Eli, what do you think? Man or machine?
That's your reality show, by the way. That's so Wayne.
Yam
That's
Quack.
so Wayne.
Machine.
All right, saying machine, and finally Kyle.
Wayne.
All right, saying man. Dan and Eli are correct.
Yay!
Yam Quack was an invention of the neural network,
Really?
and not me.
This
yes.
game's impossible.
Moving on. Yeah, it kind of is, but it's fun. Moving on. Steph's going to guess first on this one, and this beer is called Comforting Dragon Ale. Man or machine?
That's stupid. I feel like a computer can do better than that.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
So
Sorry.
man.
I'm going to say Wayne.
All right, fair enough. Eli? Same
Man.
thing? All right.
Man.
All right, finally, Dan.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
Comforting Dragon Ale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Computer can do better.
Yeah, everybody said man. Everybody is correct. I told you computers do it better. That was an invention of artificial intelligence. Moving on, Eli is going to guess first on this one. This beer is called Bigley Bomb Session IPA.
Can you repeat that?
Bigley Bomb Session IPA.
Big league?
Big league.
Big league.
Big league. Like, no, no, like,
Big league, not
like,
big.
like,
Bigley,
like,
huge.
Like big league.
Big league.
No, no, no,
big
no, no.
league. Big league.
Like we're gonna do it big league.
no. Like the adverb.
Like that guy.
Like that guy.
It's the adverb form of big. If you do something big, I did that really bigly.
All right.
Bomb Session IPA.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Is that
So
man or
much for
machine?
it's neither.
So much for avoiding
Yeah,
politics.
no.
Vegetable.
Animal, vegetable, or mineral. Donald Trump. None of the above. Abomination.
Well, he might be a man. I don't know.
We'll say machine. We're going to go with machine. Machine or lizard man. Kyle, what do you think?
Man, for sure.
All right, definitely saying man for sure.
What algorithm does this use?
Well, it uses a neural network, and what they did was they fed it 100,000 beer names from Beer Advocate as like sort of an example.
So it's only analyzing Beer Advocate.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like all the beers.
Well,
So InBev.
well, no. So
No,
Well,
they bought Rate Beer.
so it's not like
Yeah.
a neural network that includes like Google News.
No. It was just based on that
Just-
data set, and so these are beer names.
because I was going to say Bigley isn't a real word, so how would the computer
there
know
was
it?
a
If
lot.
somebody produced a beer in the last
Yeah, but
year,
that's what I'm
named
saying.
definitely could have
Bigley.
had
Yeah.
Bigley in it.
Yeah, that makes more
That's
sense.
a good point. I will go machine then.
All right, going.
I will
machine.
also say machine.
All right, and the thing is, like, it would have sort of probably taken those sorts of things into account, whether it was topical or not. Anyway, everyone is correct because that was invented by a machine. Oh, not everybody's correct. I'm sorry.
That was a machine?
Shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, Kyle was wrong. Sorry about that. Everybody else was correct. Bigley Bomb Session IPA, invented by a machine. Moving on, and Kyle is
Kyle,
going
yep.
to guess first on this one.
Wait.
Yeah, you already had your turn.
Did I go first?
Yeah, we're on number 4. So
Math
he's,
is hard.
You're fine. This one is called Heart Compost.
I mean, it's a pretty good beer name, actually, so I'm going to guess machine.
All right. It's good, so it couldn't have been you. Dan, what do you think?
Machine.
All right, Dan is saying machine.
I'm going to say machine because Dan's gotten them all right.
All right.
You know what, though? It's 2 machines and 1 man right now. I probably should have guessed man. It's like answering C on every question in the SATs.
That's it. My favorite rom-com, by the way, 2 machines and 1 man.
Are you sure that's a rom-com? Are you sure
Well,
you're watching the right channel?
It's a gentleman's special interest
Oh
rom-com.
my god.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I prefer subroutine in Seattle.
Oh my. Eli, you haven't guessed yet.
Do you even know what's going on?
I don't.
The beer name is Heart
I spaced out a while.
Heart
Yeah.
Compost. Was that invented by me or a machine?
Heart Compost.
Heart Compost.
by Ryan.
By Ryan. That's not one of the options.
Well, Ryan is a
Man.
man.
He's a man. All right, fair enough. You're wrong. It was invented by a machine. Yes, Heart Compost. Awesome name for an emo goth metal band as well.
I agree.
Compost. All right.
Oh,
so-
moment of silence for the Cranberries lady.
Oh yeah. Oh come on. You had to bring the mood
I
down.
know.
Really?
But you said that.
Also, just the Cranberries lady, not her name, just Cranberries lady.
I can't
Does
remember
anybody
her
else
name.
think it's coincidental that the
Dolores
Cranberry Lady
O'Riordan.
died and her most famous song is Zombie and
I
we
know.
haven't seen her body
I
yet?
know.
Wow. Too soon, man. Too soon.
I don't know if it is.
I don't know. By the
I
time,
don't know if it is.
By the time
Zombie
this
Apocalypse
airs,
is here.
That's true.
by the time this airs, it will not be too soon.
Our robot overlords do not understand death.
Wow.
Dan,
Wait, am I up again?
you're back around.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
So I had 6 questions because I thought it was just going to be 3 of us.
Oh,
So
they're
Kyle
really
kind of put a
around-
spanner in the works, but it's fine. You're going to guess first on this one. This one is Crumbling Duck Porter.
Crumbling duck porter.
Yes. Man or machine?
Am I allowed to ask what the
Machine.
previous correct answers were?
There was 1 man and 3 machines.
I will tell you that you've had everyone right so far.
Oh shit.
So no pressure.
So 3 machines, 1 man.
But we know Wayne's lazy.
Got a machine head.
But the question though
Better than the
is,
rest.
it's coming up with beer names.
Phone a friend.
Green to
That's not
red.
an option. Machine ahead.
My lyrics make no sense.
He's still alive, right?
yes.
But I'm really
Okay.
hot.
Jesus.
So the question is, will it be 4 machines and a
Oh
man,
my God, just say
or
machine or
3
man.
machines and 2 men?
You know what? I'm going to call this metagaming.
How
Just
much are you
answer the
willing
question.
to pay for 4 machines?
Depends on what the machines
Well,
are.
I mean, on pay-per-view, it's $9.99.
I will go.
Is the possum still tweeting, by the way?
I will go man.
He's on Instagram too. Yes. Yes.
Underscore dumpster possum.
Oh my God.
Underscore. Wait, there was already a
There
dumpster.
was already a.
God damn it.
Of course there was.
Did you tag us? Or oh, you did. Good.
Because that's where possums live.
Yeah.
They live in dumpsters.
Wait,
Twitter.
the possum didn't tag us. Tonewood
On
tagged
Twitter.
us.
That's exactly where they live.
No.
That was Twitter.
Really? You posted that picture?
Yes. Pre-production.
We don't Twitter. Tonewood does not
Dan.
Twitter.
Answer
sorry.
the fucking
No,
question.
I did. You didn't hear me. I said man.
Oh, did you? I
Yeah.
totally didn't hear you.
He
Sorry.
said, "Man."
Steph, Crumbling Duck Porter, man or machine?
That's a really shitty beer name. So I want to say man, but I know you're really lazy, so I want to say machine.
Just answer the question.
Both of those very insulting, by the way.
All right. Well, he
But
said
not
man.
wrong.
I'm gonna say machine. I'm taking a risk so I can get to Dan and get first place. And now
All
I need to
right.
search for the dumpster.
Steph saying machine and now searching for the dumpster. Eli, what do you think? Crumbling
Underscore.
Duck Porter.
I'm saying man on that.
Saying man, and finally Kyle.
Hombre.
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 Saying it in Spanish. Steph was the only one who was wrong.
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, because it was so bad. It was
C is
me.
always right.
All right, so this is our last beer of the game,
And Steph
Wait.
is in last place.
The possum is in the Florida
It's in
Keys.
last place. Actually, no. Steph and Kyle are tied for last. They both have 3.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Dan
the
is
cool people are in last, I guess.
Dan's way out ahead. He's got a perfect score so far.
Yeah. Oh, no
So
pressure.
I-
No pressure.
I can
But-
either tie Dan right now or lose.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Steph, you're going to guess first on this one. Our last
Shit.
name of the game. This is barrel-aged chocolate milk smoke.
Man.
That's so easy.
Saying it's
That's
a man.
super-
Eli, what do you think?
Machine.
Saying machine.
Machine.
Kyle also saying machine, and finally Dan.
I'm going to say machine because I don't think you would have came up with 3 of these.
Okay, fair enough. You are correct. It
Hey!
was machine.
Machine.
It was machine. I just want to know what the fuck milk smoke is.
That sounds delicious.
Holy fuck
It
balls.
kind of does. Oh, wow. There's big pints of beer over there.
Yes.
Big honking British-looking pints.
British looking pints.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to wrap this up real quick so we can dive into some more beer.
We didn't even drink that one
So
yet.
we're going to add up the points.
It's okay. None of them
And
matter,
we
except for
have-
this one.
We have a really interesting arrangement of scores here. Dan has a perfect score,
Goddamn right.
6
Cheater.
out of 6. Coming in right behind with 5 out of 6 is Eli. After that, with 4 is Kyle, and in last place with 3 is Steph. So 6, 5, 4, 3. There it is.
I'm very sad that we didn't have a German sparkle
All right,
party.
now for a little bit of quick housekeeping. This is, of course, the part of the podcast where we shout out to our most generous patrons on Patreon.
Y'all the
We
real
cannot-
MVPs.
Cannot thank you enough. We would like to thank James Lamberg, Eric Dixon, Joe Mansell, Slow Peterson, Brian Mills, Oakbrook Brewing Company, Wolfgang von Colt, Jen McDonald, Marilyn Engelman, Josh Price, Ron McDonald, Victoria Miles. Thank you so much.
And can I just point out, those are only the patrons that are at a level where you can have your name read on the podcast, but
Yeah.
we have 17 patrons right now.
We do?
And that is fucking amazing.
We love you all.
Thank
It
you
is.
very much. You guys are awesome.
Yes, you are.
You may love them all, but I especially love Ron McDonald.
Ron's a good dude.
He is. He is. By the way, it's McDonald, not McDonald.
McDonald.
Oh, McDonald. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
McDonald.
I made that mistake the first time I met him, and I felt like an asshole ever since.
We are not sponsored by any major fast food chains. And now for a word from our sponsor so we can pay our tab.
Paying the tab.
Say, Yvonne, remember when I said I'd have to send away to NASA to calculate your bar tab?
Oh, yeah. We all had a good laugh, Mo.
The results came back today. You owe me $70 billion.
Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you in part by our friends over at Secret Hopper, an innovative new mystery shopper service for breweries. It's an idea that was created out of the love of two things, beer and the experience of sharing it. Breweries are attempting to differentiate themselves in an increasingly crowded market, and Secret Hopper can help you improve your customer experience. You can see their brewery from the other side of the bar by visiting secrethopper.com/beerbusters. Sign up to get secret hopped when you can find areas to improve, new areas of opportunity, monitor changes in your customer habits, and learn to grow from it. That's secrethopper.com/beerbusters to get started today.
As somebody with a bad back, I certainly appreciate a good night's sleep. And that's why I want to tell you, the good listeners of Beer Busters, about Casper. Casper is an obsessively engineered mattress at shockingly fair prices. It's got just the right sink and just the right bounce. There's 2 technologies. It is made from latex foam and memory foam. They come together for a life well slept. You get your risk-free trial and a return-free policy, and you can try Casper for 100 days, all with free shipping, painless returns, and you can get $50 towards any mattress purchase by going to CasperTrial.com/beerbusters and using the promo code 50SLEEP, 50SLEEP. Terms and conditions do apply.
No, your beers. No, your beers.
Hey, Steph, what do we got? Water, apparently.
Well, you can cut that shit out.
No.
So, recently, Dave Green wrote an article on our favorite homebrewing magazine, BYO magazine, titled, What's in Your Wort?
What's in the wort?
What's in the wort? So, as everyone knows, wort is what brewers make, and then you put yeast in it, and yeast make beer. Brewers focus on the enzymes that are found in the mash, such as the alpha and beta amylases, which produce sugar, and sugars are, of course, carbohydrates. So, let's learn about the different carbohydrates. Your favorite word, Kyle. Oh, this is going to be a really fucking hard episode.
Your favorite word is
carbohydrates.
It's
no, just because you don't know, you're like, he says it all the time. I'm like, that's what it is.
Sugar, starches, and dextrins are the main forms of carbohydrates in brewing. In the mash tun, starch is converted to sugars and dextrins. All carbohydrates start with the basic building block of monosaccharide, which is 1 sugar unit, and can grow just like a tree, connecting the monosaccharides into long and complex chains. Most sugars produced in the mash are based on glucose and glucose polymers, or chains, and if the glucose polymers grow big enough, we know them as starch. A brewer's mash is complete when there is no starch left in the wort, just sugars and dextrins. Okay, no cocky comments there. There are 3 monosaccharides, glucose, fructose, and galactose. If you join 2 glucose molecules together, you form maltose. A glucose joined with fructose makes sucrose, while glucose and galactose together form lactose. Glucose and chains of glucose are the main focus for brewers. Lactose will only be added as a specialty ingredient, while sucrose and fructose make up only a small percentage of the sugars in the mash. During fermentation, the yeast will transform most of the sugars into ethanol and carbon dioxide. Brewer's yeast will go for simple monosaccharides first, that's glucose and fructose, of course, which amount for about 15 to 20% of the carbohydrates in wort. The yeast will next go for sucrose, which is generally only 2 to 6% of the carbohydrates. The yeast need to chop the sucrose up into glucose and fructose. Next, the yeast will begin to ramp up their consumption of maltose, which makes up 30 to 40% of the wort's carbohydrates. After that, the yeast will work on the final major sugar of fermentation, maltritose, which amounts for 15 to 20% of the wort's carbohydrates. If your yeast were stressed early in fermentation by lack of nutrients, oxygen, or adequate pitching, it's usually the switch to fermenting maltose when the yeast will start to stall on you. This will leave you with a sweet, under-attenuated beer. Happy yeast generally make better beer since they make this final transition to fermenting the maltose easier. There will be a percentage of sugars and dextrins, of course, that are unfermentable, which depends on the brewer's mash procedure, the yeast strain used, and the supplemental sugar additions. In a standard mash, unfermentable sugars account for 20 to 35% of the carbs, and that's why standard attenuation is in the 65 to 80% range. The higher the level of dextrins and unfermentable sugars, the more viscous the beer. To reduce these levels, brewers will often perform either an extended mash at a low single infusion mash temperature or a step mash that allows enhanced maltose production. Learning the basis of your wort's carbohydrates and how yeast utilize them during fermentation can help you better understand how to control these factors to your advantage. And don't forget, for your free issue of BYO Magazine, go to beerbusterspodcast.com and click on the red banner.
Do it.
I'm very impressed. That was quite thorough and very accurate.
That was a good review. I haven't studied that bullshit for a while. So.
Yeah.
I took some notes.
Yeah.
All I got out of it was inadequate pitching.
Inadequate pitching, like the Phillies.
I was just going to say that.
I
I was running through my head. It was running through my head, but I was debating on how to slide it in.
Is it, what I want to know,
or inadequate goaltending.
is it theoretically
like the Flyers.
possible?
Hey, did you see Neuvert last night?
Nope.
Dude was
I watch good hockey
Dude
teams.
was a goddamn beast.
To
Go
ask
ahead.
a serious
quick,
question.
hurry.
Apparently
You went
not.
too far.
That's
You went
fine.
too far.
No, you talked about the attenuation range, 65 to 80%, because certain sugars are just not fermentable. Is it theoretically possible to come up with a malt bill or some way? Like, could you achieve 100% attenuation
No.
in any circumstance? Like, is there any way?
You think?
Yes, it's 100%.
100%?
You can get plus.
Yeah, you can get. Yeah, you
Explain.
can absolutely.
Please.
Oh, man of knowledge.
I'll let Kyle do that.
Essentially, if you're saying that the unfermentable portion,
Kyle's now going to be on every podcast episode
Yeah,
ever.
right.
It depends on the yeast strain.
Yeah.
Different yeasts are able to eat different.
Yeah,
triggers.
exactly. I mean, if you calculate a certain theoretical attenuation in your grain bill from a certain yeast, they might measure it up to 85%. They can go beyond that. Obviously, it's a biological component. It has ranges. It can have certain conditions that are
Some
more
of it
favorable
gets
for it.
freaky and just eats
However,
everything.
if you all these yeasts are, like I said, biological. They produce things to help them break down sugars. So what if you produced more of an enzyme to break down complex sugars? You would get more attenuation. And if you got so much that you could literally break down all the sugar and consume it, you would get 100% attenuation. That would also not necessarily be good. You'd have a very thin beer. It would be completely out of whack.
Yeah.
That being said, there are sometimes when you get close to that it's really favorable, like sour beers and wild beers. They produce a lot of different compounds. They produce a lot of biochemical products during their fermentation and metabolism that is really favorable to beers as they break down and reform and all that sort of stuff. And you'll get sometimes close to 100%. Attenuation of the sugars that you're looking for.
Right.
However,
These are not the sugars.
However, you'll get other compounds that do have a component to viscosity or mouthfeel that you're not taking account of, like proteins produce that, and you were not looking for that in your gravities. Other compounds, fats and phospholipids and things like that, you'll have when you ferment, and you'll produce those things, and they'll contribute to mouthfeel and flavor. And you produce a beer that has body, but could be at one, specific gravity, which is essentially water, and will not have the same mouthfeel as water. So it's a little bit more complex, and especially when you start getting more complex bacteria and yeast than just saying this gravity produces this sort of a mouthfeel or this type of fermentation produces this sort of beer. When you start getting to different types of fermentations.
And the beer that we drank tonight, the Saison, uses a French Saison yeast, which is a Saccharomyces diastaticus yeast strain. And that yeast is super attenuative, and I think that yeast is 94% attenuation.
So it's a subspecies.
So yeah.
It's a zombie.
So it zombie.
R.I.P.
So yeah, it didn't taste like thin or water-like,
Yeah.
but it was very close to being at the specific gravity.
Yeah.
Want to
of
learn more
water.
about brewing chemistry? Come to Tonewood on Saturdays, because that's when
definitely.
Kyle's here.
And speaking of didelphimorphia, the Latin name for possum.
I'm going to say that despite the fact that the name sounds eloquent, the fact that it's by a dumpster completely cancels it out.
Can I just point out that there's a shit ton of your beer we haven't drunk yet, the porter, all over the freaking tablecloth right now?
No,
Yeah,
that,
there is.
well, that was the barrel bound. That was our
Stout. Sorry, not
stout.
porter. American stout.
7.8%.
Delicious.
Speaking
barrel.
of-
speaking
delicious
of-
barrel stout.
And this has been sitting on the table far too long, and I haven't tried it yet. I'm gonna
It
drink the
is
goddamn
delicious.
thing.
Oh, wow,
delicious.
that is really
It's
good.
delicious.
Oh,
So we're
that is
now
really
drinking
good.
Barrel Bound, which is a 7.8% American stout.
Oh my
Because
god!
of course it is.
Oh,
So this is
Well,
a
they
beer
literally just said that. That's why I said that.
before it's gone into the barrels, hence the name Barrel Bound.
just gonna
Non-additive,
say,
non-barrel aged stout.
That's
Just
cool. I like that
classy
you have
red
like
stout.
you've brewed this and presented it and be like, this is a base beer. Like this is intended for other things, but here it is now before we mess with it.
I have to ask, what is it going? What barrel is it going into?
So it's gone into Buffalo Trace bourbon. Yep. So we have that aging. We tasted it about a week ago. We're gonna let it go a long time, I think.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I think a decision was just made here.
Just let me know when that releases. I'll be here first in line.
What do they say? You don't say when the beer's ready. The beer tells you.
The
when
beer
it's
tells
ready.
you when it's ready. Yeah, you just kind of keep trying it until you're like, there it is. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it just didn't make the cut yet, and just let it keep chilling.
This,
out.
however, I mean, as is really freaking awesome.
This is one of.
This is so good.
If it wasn't so strong, I would drink it all the time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You
Which
say
brings-
that like there's a problem. with it.
Which brings us
Stop me.
to the big ass
man.
glass of beer we got
Yeah.
in our front of our faces.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I don't. I
17%,
The
right?
stout is delicious, but this mild is something
Yeah,
else.
so we got an English mild that we made with our.
Hold
good
on, before we get there,
friends.
you mentioned Buffalo Trace barrels.
Yes.
Can you tell me about when you got those barrels?
A couple weeks ago.
They're 7 years old.
There's a date on the barrels when we filled
He
them.
doesn't
It
remember.
was like 4 days before that.
You need to feed the witness.
Can I jump on?
Yeah,
Yes.
Please go
grab,
ahead.
grab a mic.
Welcome to Podcast World.
So let me try it again. So, guys, tell me about when you got the Buffalo Trace barrels.
Ryan might know.
Yeah, so,
This is Ryan Egan, Director
Welcome,
of
Ryan.
Sales and Marketing here at Tonewood Brewing.
Hello, everyone.
Agent for the
Kyle's
Mr.
like,
Possum.
just, you can have my mic, just don't drink my beer.
He is the possum's handler.
So the Buffalo Trace ages their bourbon for 7 years, and when we got the barrels, they come stamped with a date on it from when they're filled, and they arrived here on, I want to say, November 18th. It might have been within a day or two of that. They had been filled. The damn state the stamped date.
The damn
state.
Damn the state. Save the empire.
Damn state.
The damn state that stamped the date said that it was November 10th of 2010. So if they hold themselves to the letter of the law of aging it for 7 years,
Oh, yeah.
they were emptied on November 10th, 2017.
Yeah.
17.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And they arrived here on the 18th.
Yeah.
Sound like the freshest.
They had puddles
Really?
of bourbon in the
Wow.
bottom.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
They were tacky, and I mean, like, just putting your face and nose near the barrel would.
Well, I'm not concerned about how they dressed. I mean, tacky or not.
But it was it was really a lovely moment. They arrived and they were filled that day or
Yeah.
the day after. They were conditioned.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Did you, like, take a sample out of the puddles that were in there? Did
a little dip
Did
a
you
finger.
bathe in the puddle?
I didn't. I don't know.
Did you,
What did you
Eli?
guys do?
I might have.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, really.
You can't not.
It's quality control.
It is quality control. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
definitely.
understanding what your product is going to do in
Yeah.
that thing.
You need
right?
to taste it
Yeah,
at all parts of
Every
the brewing
stage.
process.
Yeah. Lick the wood a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm thinking we're gonna probably release those barrels next, like Thanksgiving.
I'll be here.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Will you be first in line with your chair?
Nope.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
now we gotta
I can
label the Pilsner.
Label the Pilsner.
Label the Pilsner.
It's very sad, though, that the Pilsner is...
Do your listeners know about the tablecloth? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
they
We
very
talk about
much.
tablecloth all the time. We actually have 3 tablecloths.
I mean, this
They're
is
all
kind of
covered.
an impressive little. This is an impressive little menagerie.
Thank you.
Getting
Can
more
we drink
pizza.
this mild now?
Yeah,
I know.
okay.
For real?
I've already been drinking.
I've been dutifully waiting to even
Hold
taste
on.
it.
Dutifully
Can
waiting.
I drink this? Because it's probably not on Untapped.
Oh, shit.
It's not an Untapped. Not yet.
Steph, you know what you got to do.
But it's not an actual beer. They don't even know what it's called, I bet.
It's not a real beer. It's
I'm sorry. Is this not Dumpster Possum?
Not a real beer.
Can we call it Dumpster Possum?
He's got a theme song?
faux show.
Wait, for real? Like,
that
can
what
I
this is
add
called?
Or
it
is
to
that the name
Untapped
of
right now?
this beer? Is faux
don't,
show.
Don't do that.
See?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Pussy.
Wow.
I mean, you can
Hashtag
do whatever
feminism.
you want, but
Hey, Untapped or not, I don't care. It's really good.
It
and
is.
wanna drink
I
it.
have not tried it yet.
Oh, it's
I'm
so
going
good.
in. I'm going in.
Absolutely phenomenal.
It's such an underappreciated style.
You are
It really
goddamn
is.
right.
Yeah, it really is.
Amen.
Oh,
The description should be fucking drink this, it's amazing,
Yeah.
and shut the fuck up. That should be the description on the menu.
Or dumpster possum.
or dumpster possum.
Or it's better than a dumpster possum.
AKA.
Better than a dumpster
That being
possum.
said, have you ever had a dumpster possum?
Not willing.
Well, in the biblical
Not
sense,
We should tell our listeners what
Biblical
we're...
sense? The fuck does that mean?
I thought I slipped that in there and no one noticed.
I think you know very well what it means.
So before this completely derails,
Too late.
the crew here at Tonewood was nice enough to steal something from the tank, and we are drinking their yet to be named and yet to be released
No,
English
it's got a
mild.
name.
Oh, what's the name? Tell me so I can.
show.
Oh, that's what I thought.
It
yeah.
is?
Yeah. So Philly Homebrew Outlet.
So
PHO.
Oh, I
Show.
like that.
PHOSHOW or SHO?
SHO.
2 words.
I like that.
Two words.
And what's the ABV?
3.8%.
I
Nice.
love that.
Nice.
Session beers are. I was going to say something that shouldn't be recorded. Session beers are my jam. I'll say that.
Well,
So this was a collaboration with Philly Homebrew Outlet.
Yeah, and they just opened up 2 doors down from the brewery.
that's not.
Oh, how cool!
Location.
Wait, yeah, I was going to say that's not
That's
Philly.
not Philly.
Well, they have 2 locations in Philly. And
But now they have to be like the Philly and Jersey
satellite.
homebrew outlet.
Well, there's LA Fitnesses.
exactly.
Well played. Well played.
You were quick with that too. I never even thought about that.
We gotta tell Jimmy that.
That was good. That was real good.
Wow.
I think Jimmy's probably already thought about that
Probably. Yeah.
because he wants to franchise the whole thing.
Well, that's
kill
cool.
it because
Yeah.
he kills it. But yeah, Jimmy. I don't know if you guys know Jimmy.
I do not
Anybody?
know
Don't.
Jimmy.
No.
McMillan.
Yeah.
You know, I may have met him once, if memory serves. I forget where.
Probably at a beer event, and you were probably drunk.
Yeah, that's about right.
Because
Both
that's what-
statements are probably true.
That's why I also rated that beer. By the way, I created
Ooh.
it and rated it.
Cool.
Wow.
So my brother Taylor wanted to call
I'll
it
clean that up
faux
on
shizzle,
Untapped later.
Faux shizzle. Okay.
Was that you?
but I liked faux show more.
You don't need to clean
So
it up. You just need to add
I'm
your
naming
picture.
it
Faux show's
now.
good.
So-
I want to sit at home in front of the TV on a Friday night.
I want a
drinking-
whole fucking keg of this beer.
Pint
how
after
good
pint
does this
after
glass
pint.
feel in
I
your
kinda-
hand?
Oh,
too,
it's
by the
so
way?
amazing.
This
Oh,
glass
yeah,
is
yeah.
the
The
perfect.
imperial pint
yeah.
is perfect.
I
Yeah.
don't like
But how
Wait till you
did?
get the cask.
Oh,
Yeah,
just give
there's-
me the whole
Oh my
cast.
God.
How did you get to the point? Is it just because they move in the neighborhood and that's why you did the collaboration? And then how did you end up doing English mild as a style? And
So,
thank you.
So Jimmy actually lives in Oakland,
Mm-hmm.
raising his family here, and we both like. Even though we brew a lot of hoppy beers, they're not like my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love drinkable beers. I love milds, so we both put together our heads and made a
Let's
mild.
brew mild, guys.
Yeah, so he basically wrote the recipe, and then I took it and was like, "Well, what do we have?"
Let's make it better. No,
No,
I was waiting for you to say that. I took it and made it better.
no, it was what do we have, in stock? Because that's
Let's make it
a lot of
realistic.
that's a lot of the things you have to think about being commercial brewers. What do you have in your grain room? What's going to make sense?
That's a good point because a
to
home
make
brewer,
a
you
brew.
can go. You just need like a quarter pound of this. It's not a big deal to get a shit ton of different exotic
Yeah.
malts. But when you're a commercial brewer,
Yeah, so we thought about like the other beers we make. We just drank the barrel bound, and just took the grains we had available and kind of morphed it, Jimmy's recipe, into ours, and that's what we came up with. And it's he wanted to use English hops, but this is hops with Cascade and Pearl.
works.
Yeah, we thought it would work.
American and German, right?
Yeah, random, but
But delicious.
Random but delicious.
Random but delicious.
Have a pint. Random but delicious.
I'm really excited about the casks.
Yeah, that is exciting.
Because we have 7 casks of this beer. This was so we got a hand pump about, 4 months ago?
Yeah.
It was here when we were here.
It was here when we were
Yeah,
here because
last
I was
time.
pissed that nothing
And
was
there
connected
nothing
to
in
it.
there. Well, that was
I was
probably
like, "Give a hand pump."
Honest to God, that must have been like within weeks of purchasing.
Probably,
Yeah,
I think it was
yeah.
brand new.
I was very sad.
But
It
not
was
too
right
sad,
after GABF
because everything else we had was really good.
because we held the medal at eight in sand.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was cool
because they won
yeah.
the chili
'Cause
beer silver.
We only drink medal winning beers.
That was
on
our
the
new
podcast.
hashtag. We're like, we only drink.
We only drink medal winning beers on this podcast.
Bad hombre.
Bad hombre.
Yeah.
It was really
Yeah,
good.
that was good.
Could have been
Exciting.
spicier, but
we
it was
were on
good.
the same flight out with them.
Oh, how cool!
Oh, really?
So we hung out at Chickies and Pete's in the airport.
You guys were.
You flew a day before us, but we
Oh.
we were at the airport at like 8 a.m.
It's like, I don't
drinking
remember that.
drinking with those guys before our flight.
That's my favorite part of flying out of the airport is you can get beer that early.
Oh, I was going to say not remembering it.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, and I feel like preparing for a flight is an excuse to drink early in the day. Like, I'm going to be in a plane for hours. I might as well get drunk.
Yeah, but then I got to pee a lot on the flight.
That's true.
They have one where the description it says this one goes to 11.
Yep.
Amplifier.
We don't have that here for tasting. We can go get it.
Oh,
Well,
that's a good idea.
Maybe that could be the last call beer.
wanna
Okay,
do that
that'll
for
be
the
our
last-
last call beer.
that's
That's
all
a
beer.
that's,
That's
that's a
all
good idea.
That's an 8.2%.
Yeah, definitely
volumes.
last call.
We have an episode.
This shit I got to drink.
We have an episode title that is "This Goes to 11,000 Feet."
Nice.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that was at Locust Lane. Yeah.
Locust Lane.
Locust
Yeah.
Lane.
We tried to Google like the highest altitude
That
brewery
sounds like a
in
classy
the world.
bowling alley.
Oh, don't I have to pee?
So
And there's only a men's
There's only
room
a
here.
men's room.
Shit.
It's a toilet. You can use it. It's not like it's just a
I know.
urinal and
It's
nothing
funny.
else.
And it's a
funny.
solo job too. Like you can close
It's
the door
funny.
and everything.
Yeah, and then he's going to record me peeing like he
I will
did
not
with
do
them.
It's for the
Wait, what?
Get a heavy flow.
No, I don't know if this is bullshit, but I thought that Telluride, the brewery I started at, was the highest brewery in the world.
Actually, I think that came up when we Googled it.
Wait, did we talk about his
we
brewery?
did.
Probably.
Because when you said that, I thought when I was looking at the notes, I was like,
That's so
that
funny.
sounds familiar. And I
Because
don't
on
know
our
'cause-
cans it said brewed high.
Yeah. Because when we looked it up, we looked it up, and it was a list of like the highest breweries. There was one that was like just in Colorado, and then something.
Yeah, he was
We're
reading
just
them
in
all. We're like,
Colorado.
these are all in Colorado.
Yeah.
Was that
And he's like,
just-
I googled in the
Space
world and I
in
got
Colorado?
No, Justin, Colorado.
Or Justin.
He's a blogger who writes about beer.
Justin, Colorado.
Hi guys, Justin, Colorado here to tell you about the highest brewery in the world.
oh my god. So
That's how he talks.
Carmen San
hold on.
Diego's son.
We need to end this.
Jesus Christ.
So if you would like to learn more about Tonewood, they are tonewoodbrewing.com. You can follow them on the Insta at Tonewood Brewing, or you can follow @dumpster Possum on Instagram. Facebook, they are facebook.com/Tonewood Brewing. And don't forget to follow at Dumpster Possum on the Twitter.
Yes, please do.
Also, they do bluegrass jam sessions here. This,
I wanted to ask about that.
second
Yes.
Wednesday of each month, which is totally awesome.
Except this month.
Sometimes they get delayed because of snow, but that's cool. Just watch their Facebook page. They are super
She
cool
shot
about
you right
updating
down.
them. Hey, I do what he does too. Their launch date for Philly is most likely March 9th, which is super cool. So follow their socials to get info on that. And of course, check them out and check us out at the AC Beer Fest on March
Yes.
23rd, 24th, and listen to learn how you can win your own 2 free tickets to the show.
So do you know, for the acoustic stage at AC Beer Fest, do you know who's playing, or is that yet to be announced? Because they've announced the big 3 that are going to be there for each session.
Yeah.
But
So our boys at Suburban Sensi are definitely going to be
All right.
one of the acts.
cool.
If anybody out there knows Suburban Sensi, great. Up and coming reggae band.
Oh, I thought you were
from
just going to
South
end it there.
Jersey.
Great.
If you've heard of them, that's good.
Great.
Great.
They're a band that was once described.
No, they're awesome. Suburban Sensi.
But to
That's
help
cool.
answer that question, yeah, it's to be determined. The guys at AC Beer Fest and Tonewood are helping to select the lineup. There's
cool,
going to be
cool.
there's going to be 12 bands in total.
Wow.
12
That's
acts.
cool.
in
Yeah.
total.
I can't wait. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Especially because we have a hotel room, and that means I can drink and don't have to worry about pacing myself. I just go.
Well, our hotel room is 2 miles from the
is that how far it is?
convention center. Yes.
We can,
guys,
we'll
there's
jump
a
on
jitney.
I was going to say, we'll get on the jitney.
There's a
Fine.
jitney for $2.
listen, like,
Or
we
you can leave your car at the convention center and go. With us in our
Oh,
car.
yeah, because Rich is driving.
because Rich can drive us to the hotel room. You're
Hopefully, I'll have my new car.
New car.
Are you like doing Nixon right now?
No, I did one finger each, not two.
And that's because I have to. Pee
What kind?
I'll have a new car.
What kind of car?
Hyundai Elantra. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Hyundai.
Hopefully.
How many gallons of gas goes in that car?
14 gallons. With an average of 37 miles per gallon.
Is that highway or city?
Highway. City's about 25.
Okay. It's good to know. Hey guys, did we talk about the dumpster possum yet?
Yeah, no.
Did we bring that up?
His name is Harry.
His name's Harry.
Wait, I thought it was Henry.
No.
Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Wait, didn't one of the social pages say Henry?
Harry.
Harry. All of them said Harry.
All of them say Harry.
Harry.
I need new glasses.
He's a freak out.
I used my finger to spell them.
Harry said it. Harry's how you spell it.
All right, I'm done torturing Steph. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. So Steph, of course, mentioned the Tonewood social medias. Don't forget at BeerBusters, Facebook.com/BeerBusters Podcast, and the phone number that more people besides Joe Mann are using now. Thank you. Please keep it up. 805-991-BEER, 805-991-2337. Nobody's going to answer. Just leave a voicemail or text.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, this does bring us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters. And seriously, guys, thank you so much for having us out here. This has been a hell of a time. We had an actual scientist on the show and fantastic beers and possums. And
We created a social media phenom.
This is going to be incredible.
Empire. I
Yes.
call it
wait.
an empire.
Just wait, it's an
Yes.
empire.
But guys,
Making
seriously.
T-shirts. Everyone can find them on
Yes! I can't
Tonewood.
wait.
That's a good idea.
Last call's going to be epic. Can
Yeah,
I
it
just
is.
say that right now?
Yeah, it is.
I look forward to coming back here many, 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 many times. This is like the only reason I will come back to Jersey at this point. Well, I am Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and the demented and fermented.
Wayne Baker.
No squids were harmed in the making of this episode, but
And no
possums
possums.
were
No, we
not.
didn't harm any possums.
Nah.
The possums are safe.
No.
But what about the beer fairies?
For now.
For now.